Ever wonder where our ideas of good versus evil, heaven and hell, or even the devil really come from? Well, the answer might go back way further than you think, to a faith that's a staggering 3,500 years old. Today, we're diving into that ancient source, a story of fire, a cosmic battle, and the truly revolutionary concept of free will.
Think of it like an eternal flame. This is the story of a tiny religious spark lit thousands of years ago in ancient Persia that absolutely exploded into a blaze. It warmed great empires and cast a light that would influence countless other faiths. And here's the amazing part. Embers of that original fire, they're still glowing brightly today.
All right, so where does this all start? We're going back, way back, to ancient Iran, what many of us know as Persia. Long before many of the religions we're familiar with even existed, Zoroastrianism emerged as one of the very first monotheistic faiths, one that centered on the worship of a single universal God.
And when we say ancient, we are not kidding. The faith was founded about 3,500 years ago by a prophet named Zoroaster. Just let that sink in for a second. That's centuries before Rome was even a thing, and more than 1,000 years before Christianity got its start. It is just mind-bogglingly old.
But Zoroaster wasn't just starting something new from scratch. He was a total reformer. He looked around at his Bronze Age culture, with its pantheon of countless gods, its complex rituals and animal sacrifices, and he basically said, you know what? There has to be a better way, a simpler, more profound way.
So, how does a guy in the middle of the Bronze Age come up with such a radical idea? Well, it all comes down to this incredibly powerful, life-changing vision he had.
So picture this. Zoroaster is 30 years old. He's taking part in a ritual, bathing in a river, and then, bam! Out of nowhere, a being made of pure light appears to him. It introduces itself as Vohumana, which is just an amazing name. It means good mind. And this messenger leads him right into the presence of the one true God.
And this is the central figure of the entire faith, Ahura Mazda, the wise lord. Zoroaster's teaching was revolutionary. Ahura Mazda isn't just a god, he is the God, the one uncreated creator, the source of everything good, all light, all truth in the universe. I mean, what a complete departure from the pantheon of gods he grew up with, right?
But here's where it gets really interesting. The vision didn't just reveal a God of pure goodness. It also revealed a universe locked in an epic struggle, a cosmic war between the forces of creation and, well, destruction.
And this right here is the absolute core of Zoroastrian belief. It's this idea of cosmic dualism. On one side, you've got Ahura Mazda, working through his creative energy spent to Mainyu, to bring goodness, order, truth, they call it asha, and just life. And on the other side, you have Angra Mainyu, the destructive spirit, the force of chaos, falsehood, or druj, and death. But, and this is super important, they aren't equal opposites. Angra Mainyu isn't some other god. It's more like a destructive force that's constantly attacking the good creation that Ahura Mazda made.
So you might be asking, where do we fit into all of this? Well, according to Zoroaster, we are essentially soldiers in this battle. And our greatest weapon? Free will. God's greatest gift to us. With every single thought, every word, every action, we are choosing a side. We're either aligning with truth and order or with chaos and deceit. We are actively helping one side win. It all boils down to this really simple but incredibly profound moral code. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Now, an idea this big, this powerful, you'd think it would catch on, right? Oh, it did. Big time. This didn't just stay some fringe belief. It grew to become the official religion of some of the most powerful empires the world had ever seen. For over 1,000 years, this was the state religion of Persia. I mean, at its absolute peak, the Achaemenid Empire, guided by these very principles, stretched all the way from parts of Greece to India. For a time, it was the largest empire in history, and this ancient faith was its beating heart.
This is probably the symbol you've seen, even if you didn't know what it was, the Faravahar. It's believed to represent a fravashi, which is sort of like your personal guardian spirit or angel. The idea is that it exists before you're even born, it protects you through life, and then after you die, your soul reunites with it, carrying all of your life's experiences back into that cosmic battle.
But you know, empires don't last forever. The big turning point came in the 7th century with the Arab conquest of Persia. With the new Islamic leadership came all sorts of social and financial pressures, and slowly but surely, this ancient faith began to decline in its own homeland.
But even though its power as an empire's religion faded, that flame we talked about never truly went out. In fact, you can hear its echoes in some of the world's biggest religions today, and a really dedicated community is still keeping it alive and well.
Okay, get ready for the aha moment, because this is where the story gets absolutely mind-blowing. Think about these concepts: a final judgment day, a savior figure who will come at the end of time, the resurrection of the dead, heaven and hell, a single, powerful, evil being like the devil. All of these ideas, which are so central to other major faiths, really took shape first in Zoroastrian thought. It's widely believed they had a massive influence on Judaism and then later on Christianity and Islam. Just wow.
So, to keep their faith from being stamped out, a brave group of Zoroastrians made a courageous journey. They sailed from Persia and eventually found a safe haven in Gujarat, India. Their descendants became known as the Parsis, and honestly, that migration was probably the single most important reason the religion survived at all.
And this isn't just ancient history. The faith is absolutely alive and well. What you're seeing here is a Navjot ceremony. It's the moment a Parsi child is formally initiated into the religion. It's a beautiful example of these traditions, passed down through millennia, being practiced by vibrant communities today.
Now, today, the global population is pretty small. We're talking somewhere between 120,000 to maybe under 200,000 people in the whole world. The largest community is still the Parsis in India, but you have dedicated groups back in Iran, in North America, and scattered across the globe, all of them working to keep that ancient flame burning.
So it all comes back to where we started. A choice. The core message of Zoroastrianism, the big takeaway, is that our actions, words, and even our thoughts matter on a cosmic scale. They aren't just personal decisions. They are our contribution to that universal battle between good and evil. So it leaves us with a pretty powerful question, doesn't it? What choice will you make today?